I don't think Zelenskyy should talk to any conservative media unless he can require that certain questions are asked. And the reason why is because you actually cannot fight on a platform where you can't dictate any part of the conversation. If it's just the other person that can ask the question all the time, you are always at a disadvantage, no matter who's right or wrong, no matter where the facts lie, no matter what you're trying to say. It doesn't matter because the other person always has control of the conversation. The reason why I would be the most important person. No. Well, unironically, here's why I think I could have a good question with Zelenskyy is because I can provide the questions that give the strongest version of all of the Russian bullshit talking points for Zelenskyy to have a thorough knockdown response to. Because if Zelenskyy goes on any of these fucking these far-right authoritarian programs, he will never get a chance to even do that. Right? I don't think that any of them will have the balls to ask the difficult, conspiratorial knockdown questions because they don't want to hear him give the knockdown. Now, we have an hour left. Maybe Lex will do it. I don't think he has yet. But questions of why do you think Putin invaded in 2014? Did NATO ever make, in your historical opinion, did NATO ever make promises to Russia about invading? Do you think the U.S. was involved in Euromaidan? How much of your country's military is comprised of Nazis? How important was Azov to the formation of your wartime military? These are the kinds of questions that he should have a chance to respond to because these are the main propaganda points that are spread in the West. And if we go through a whole interview without him getting a chance to talk about any of it, there's no point in him even doing these interviews. Random, opining on history or the past or your country. I say random opining. That's incredibly dismissive and rude. I mean, I think it's valuable, but nobody that has these conspiratorial nonsense talking words in their head is being persuaded by him saying any of these things because he's just a Jewish deep state actor or whatever the fuck. I want to hear him being presented with these questions or arguments directly and then give him a chance to do the knockdowns. I don't think any conservative platform is going to have the balls to ask him any of those questions. I don't know if the average Ukrainian knows what the aggregate media environment is like in the West. I'm sure they've heard talking points, but I don't know if they know how pervasive some of these just outright fabricated myths and lies are in American media. We just heard Trump, I think, repeat some of them. Just these outright lies and myths are. They might you might go to Ukrainian and be like, oh, you've heard the Azov Nazi claim, right? And oh yeah, we see that shit on Russia Telegram all the time. And then you ask them what percentage of Americans do you think believe that? And they're I don't know, probably 1 or 2% or something. And it's no, it's 50%. Maybe half the country believes this shit. I don't know if he's aware of that,